To understand Baikoko, we must travel back to the coastal communities of Tanzania, particularly among the Digo people of the Tanga region. Long before nightclubs and music festivals, Baikoko existed in a quieter, more private form. It grew out of Ngoma ya ndani, a traditional women dance performed away from the public eye. These dances were not meant for entertainment, but for teaching, bonding, and expression. They were spaces where women communicated experiences of marriage, fertility, desire, and womanhood using rhythm and movement rather than words. In its original form, Baikoko was not public, not commercial, not controversial. It belonged to the women and to the culture. But culture is never static. As Tanzania urbanized and coastal traditions met city life, Baikoko began to transform. The drums became louder and the movements bolder and the audience wider. What was once private crossed into public spaces, weddings, bars, nightclubs, and everything, large music festivals. With this transition came attention, fascination, and backlash. Critics labeled Baikoko as too explicit, accusing it of promoting immorality and eroding African values. Authorities at different times attempted to restrict or discourage its performances, especially in public spaces. Religious leaders condemned it, parents worried about its influence, and moral debates filled newspapers and radio talk shows. Yet despite all this, Baikoko did not disappear. The reason is simple. Baikoko speaks a language that cannot be silenced, the language of identity and expression. For many performers, Baikoko is not about provocation, but about ownership of the body and the culture. The movement centered around the Western hits, reflected rhythms deeply rooted in coastal African tradition, similar to movements existed across the continent, from Uganda to West Africa. But Baikoko carries a uniquely Swahili coastal identity. In modern times, Baikoko also survives because it adapted, it blended with contemporary music, entered pop culture, and found new life through social media and festivals like Nyege Nyege, where audiences from across the world encounter it, not as scandal, but as art. What some see as controversial, some others see as authentic African performance, raw, unapologetic, and alive. There is also a deeper truth many critics ignore. African cultures have always embraced the body long before colonial morality redeemed what was acceptable. Baikoko challenges important ideas of shame and reminds society that sensuality and culture are not enemies. Today, Baikoko stands as a symbol of resistance, not against law, but against erasure. It proves that traditions rooted in people's lives' experiences do not vanish simply because they make others uncomfortable. Instead, they evolve, adapt, and persist. Baikoko survives because it belongs to the people, because it carries memory, rhythm, and history, and because no controversy has ever been strong enough to silence a drum.